are y'all?
See, everybody thought you were...
That was The Night Atlanta Burned, in case you...
I know the title. You told me before you started. You never taught me that.
Well...
I stole everything else.
You wrote all the other ones I played.
I ain't been allowed to say nothing to Mr. Atkins.
Speak your mind.
I heard him on the radio years ago, and he told a story about, I want to see if it's true, he caught the freighter to get away from it all, was out on the high seas, rested, grew a beard. One night, the ship's company broke out a guitar.
Yeah.
And they handed it to, he said, this, and he picked it. And he said, fella, you a pretty good guitar player. I said, now, you ain't no Chet Atkins. and did that happen?
That's true, yeah. The next day, a guy came up and said, I enjoyed your picking last night. And I said, thank you. He said, you're pretty good. No, you're no Chet Atkins. And he said, you know him? And I said, yes, I've heard of him.
Amen.
I never did tell him. Now, you could never write a story like that. That's true.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting how you got that first guitar. You know, all first guitars are kind of close to you, you know. So tell them how you got that first guitar.
Well, we owned two or three. I don't know which one you mean. The
one where you traded Lowell, you told Lowell you'd milk for him, you know. That's the story I want.
Yeah, well, you know, I traded the pistol for one time, too.
Oh, why not?
And then we had another guitar around the house that belonged to my stepdaddy, and then it belonged to my brother, and then I got it. It's in the Hall of Fame down there, and it's ugly. And I wasn't going to put it down there, but I thought, well, why be dishonest? I was going to put a pretty guitar down there, but it's so ugly and beaten up. And I thought, well, might as well be honest, put the real thing down there.
But did you promise Lowell that you'd milk for him for a year if he'd give you that pistol, and then you traded the pistol for?
Yeah, and then I found out I wasn't too good a milker. Mm-hmm. You know, to milk, you've got to do that with both hands. And I never could. And I think it would be better if they had trained the cows. You just sit there and they jump up and down.
Did you have to say that?
Poor Chet doesn't have any dexterity in his fingers anyway.
I feel sorry.
I don't.
Guitar picking. Y'all talking over my head, but brother, if you want to get in a milking talk, I'm with you now.
Yeah, how many years were you on the road before you came to Nashville, Tennessee, Chester, and
back when I got in the business, Jerry, we worked on radio stations 10,000 watts on up, and what you would do is do early morning shows and maybe a noon show, and then you go out and play in the radius of that radio station, which was usually 150 miles. And so we'd play every night, drive back and get a few hours sleep and do an early morning program, and then do the same thing the next day. And I know when I'd have a day off, I didn't know what to do, you know. I love that.
Now that I got it, what am I going to do?
I got a night off, what am I going to do? But I was on the road from about 42 to something or other.
You're always interrupting me. We'll be right back.